Oh My Dog with Jack D and Seann Walsh.
Coming up on today's show, we speak to Rose Patterson and Nathan McGovern from Animal Rising, who were involved in rescuing beagles. Just a bit of a heads up for you, if you're listening with a child or something, it's probably not the right episode because there's some fairly upsetting subject matter in there, just so you know.
Well, you can stop listening once we get to the interview, because before that is dogs being stung by stinging nettles.
There is that. There's other stuff before we get our guests on. Yeah, that's right.
Before you tell our listeners, Jack, to just not listen to it.
Seann is desperate to hold on to the listeners. No. Listen, get the whole family listening. Who cares? Make your children listen to it. Hi, Seann.
Hello.
You all right?
Sorry. I'm good. Sorry, everyone.
You don't have to start everything by saying sorry. Listeners will just think that you're having a bit of a moment of regret over everything you've ever done. I mean, you're only apologising to Sarah and to me for messing us around endlessly this morning.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Apparently you have bigger fish to fry, is that right?
Yeah, well, I thought the bigger fish... The bigger fish that are Good Morning Britain were at White City, which I live quite nearby. And they were. And so they've moved very recently. Oh,
all right. Just move on with the story. We know. We all know where they used to be. Oh.
Can I just tell you, I was... so I've just come from Good Morning Britain, where I was kind of, lined up to talk about Oh My Dog.
Right.
Oh, right.
Okay.
There was a slight obstacle arose.
Oh, Sarah, I feel that this is going to be a disappointment, isn't it? This is
no. You will completely understand. You will completely understand once I tell you what that obstacle is. It comes in the form of Richard Madeley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not going to want to talk about what they said he's going to talk about.
Who is, of course, a national treasure. We all love Richard Madeley, obviously a strong kind of research point for Alan Partridge.
Yes.
Who, at the mention of Oh My Dog, went on to tell me, instead of talking about Oh My Dog, the podcast, we got to hear about a time that Richard Madeley, who I'm a bit of an agony aunt, and sometimes people write in and I have to sort the problems out. And someone wrote in to tell me that their dog makes a kind of noise that sounds a lot like another noise, so that when him and his partner got kind of frisky at night, they would make that noise, but it would sound like the dog's noise. And it's 8:30. It's 8:30 in the morning.
And all you want to do is. Did you manage to get any plug in at all? Was it?
Well, the wonderful Charlotte Hawkins was hosting, who's been on our show twice, obviously. Yeah. So she managed to kind of help segue it back to, reality. But no, I mean, I didn't. Sarah, sometimes your name. I miss out your name in the promotion, which you've pointed out, but I didn't even get a chance to mention Jack either. There was.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's not a story that's going to entice people, really, is it?
No. So what was did they literally get you on to talk about Oh My Dog, or was it to talk about the jungle?
No, it was a jungle tour. Oh My Dog. Oh My Dog. Go on.
So now we're number 3 on the list. From being, I went on Good Morning Britain to talk about Oh My Dog.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thanks,
where is it? Where is it now recorded, Seann? Where is it now recorded?
Somewhere near King's Cross or Waterloo or something.
Amazingly, he still doesn't know. Having been there places. And appeared on the show, he still doesn't know where it was.
Opposite ends of London as well. It's one of those two.
Yeah, sorry, no idea. You get out the car, you're in the building.
Yeah, well, out of loyalty, when you texted to say that you were doing that, I actually turned on Good Morning Britain to see if you were on. But I think, Jack. But it was they had Kwasi Kwarteng on, the Conservative Chancellor who was in the job for about 8 days, and I thought,
that was him.
Oh, Seann's doing impressions again, is he? Oh, he'll get into terrible trouble for this. That's out of order, really. You can't do that. Not in this day and age. Anyway.
Well, I just, I thought no one was talking about the doctor's strike, and I thought, all right then, get out of the way. I'll take it from here. Yeah.
Remind me off air to tell you a story about Stephen Merchant. You just reminded me of from that.
Okay.
Well, we could maybe talk about that off the lead. On off the lead.
Yeah.
Is that even beyond off the lead, do you think?
Maybe. No, it's not. It's fine.
Okay, good. Okay.
But so there we go. I almost managed to plug Oh My Dog. I mean, it got a mention, but that's it.
It got a mention. Never mind. The intention was there, and
Yes.
Richard Madeley gave a dog story, so there was a sort of that kept us within theme for this morning. Yeah.
About how a dog's noise was the same as its owner's groaning during.
Don't repeat it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's gold. That is absolute gold. Well done, Richard.
Yeah. So how are our canine friends? How's Dolly? How's Juniper?
Yeah. How's Juniper, Sarah?
She's good. We went out yesterday. Lovely little Easter outing.
Nice.
And we went to this amazing park. It was really beautiful, lovely cafe there. And we walked across all this lovely green grass. We were just walking through. And all of a sudden, it was a little bit different grass. And Juniper lifted up her back paw. And then I leant down and realised it was very short nettles.
Oh.
Which suddenly appeared on the lawn.
Oh.
And so she'd stung her foot.
Oh, no.
Poor little thing.
Oh.
So I picked her up and I got stung as I picked her up as well. So that's when I definitely realised it was nettles.
Yeah.
And we sat down and it took about 5 minutes and then she was fine. But when she was walking, she was kind of like keeping her back leg up. It was awful.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh.
Yeah, I felt terrible for her. But she enjoyed the day out other than that.
That's good. That's really good.
I don't think I realised that dogs could get stung.
No, they can.
didn't.
Yeah. Nellie is prone to getting stung by nettles because she gets too involved in them when she sees them and puts her face right up to them.
Oh, ouch.
The thing with Frenchies is quite sweet because when they smell, they sort of have to smell like that because their nostrils are on top of their nose like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so they get closer to the thing than they realise, I think. But anyway, so she
How
has
do
to be
you
quite
know?
careful.
How do you know they get stung?
I think that she'll whimper away from it. I think
she
that's
will
I've not witnessed it. This is my daughter Phoebe telling me this is what happens. And you obviously realised that Juniper was stung, didn't you? She was limping at some point.
She was a little bit. I did take a video. Shall I show you?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't terrible and it was quite quick, but you can sort of see her limping a little
so
bit
sad.
there.
Oh,
I know.
She can't
Poor little
think. She doesn't
thing.
realise what's happened. Ow.
No, but after 5 minutes, she was fine. You know how
Okay,
quickly
good.
they can
Yeah.
disappear, the sting?
Yeah.
Bless her.
You have to get a dog leaf for it. Get it?
Oh, God.
Come on.
I'm
good.
Exactly. Not bad, is it? What is
No,
it?
no,
10:30 in the
That was
morning.
quick.
Richard Madeley couldn't do that.
No. You
Bravo.
couldn't. Thank you. Yeah. How was Charlotte Hawkins when you did?
Good morning.
Good morning, Britain.
Great, yeah. Good morning, not Great Britain. Yeah, good morning, but she was great. No, it was very nice to meet her in real life. Obviously, she's done the pod twice, and she said her
Friend of the show.
She brought up the question actually about how we end with "Do you let your dog kiss you on the mouth?" She remembered that, and she didn't let her previous dog kiss her on the mouth, and now her dog. What is it? Oh God, can you remember? It's
The new one.
Moose.
Moose,
Her dog
that's
Moose.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Which Richard Madeley interjected with, what is that? Is that Moose? Is that Moose the animal, or is that Moose? And then said something else. By which point I was already laughing too much. And said, "Why did you need to know which Moose it was?" He's because I'm a lover of words.
It is fantastic. Accidental partridgeism is all the time, isn't it? Yeah.
But no, it's very nice to see her, and Moose seems to be
really
getting
good.
on well. Mildred's still good with the barking.
You're still making progress with the.
I think so. Yeah.
Are you doing a bit less of the distracting each time? Are you finding it is becoming because that was the idea, wasn't it? So you don't have to spend too much time distracting her so she can go out and not bark. You realise that worked, but you don't want her to spend too much time doing it every time.
No, so I've not really cut down on that. The problem lies with, and it's interesting, I wonder what Simon would say about this, our dog expert, if you're new, who's given advice on this, is she's now not speeding out into the garden and barking, which is great. So I stop her, give her a little kiss, stroke her and say, quiet, quiet. And she goes in and it's great. The problem now lies in, after a few minutes, there'll then be a bark. So it's, and then I have to run out and go, get in. No, this was awful. Get in.
Okay, right. But why that voice? Is it just so you're raising your voice without being too much louder? You're not actually shouting.
Yes, that's what this kind of is. It's raising without raising, exactly.
Yes, okay,
but she knows she knows that noise. You know, if I go, then she knows that's get in.
Okay. Fair enough.
But do you know what she did do? I've noticed where Wylda's getting bigger. So I'd be interested in what our listeners have to say about this on Barkback, which is out on Fridays. Where Wylda's now 3, you know, she's at that age where Mildred can kind of go up to her and kiss her and interact with her the way she might do with adults, with me, with Grace.
Yeah.
But what happened this morning is where Wylda got up in the morning and Mildred got up. Mildred was excited to see her, so Mildred jumped up and knocked Wylda back, and Wylda was very upset. And then we had to kind of pull Mildred away. It was that kind of, I know, it's sad. Mildred's just really happy to see Wylda. So
yes, I know.
We've got to kind of, work that out.
The boisterousness. I'm sure they both learn how to sort of navigate that one.
But she's so good, guys. She's so good with Casper. Casper's 1. Yeah. And she knows to not jump on him. She knows to be kind of slower, calmer with him. It's wonderful. It's just now where Wylda's bigger. There's a slight... She kind of thinks, are we doing this now?
Yeah. It's extraordinary, their intuition, isn't it? They just know that that's a little one. I can't be too rough with that
exactly.
one. Yeah. That's really sweet. That's
wonderful.
Really sweet. Yeah.
And what about Dolly? What's Dolly up to?
Well, Dolly is well, but she's showing little signs of just being a bit older now, and we've noticed over the last few weeks she can get a little bit in the evenings and stuff. She can get a little bit tetchy, certainly with me, which is, you might want to say, is understandable, having had the whole day in my company. As Jay might testify, it's not non-stop hilarity. But so we wonder if there's a little bit of dementia there going on. We don't know. We're not going to take it too seriously yet, because the other thing is that she seems to get a little slightly sore shoulder when she jumps off a sofa or something. She'll jump off, and you'll just hear her go like that as she does it, because you think there's something just tweaking her a bit. So I think that gets her in a bit of a slightly frosty mood. But we're not going to go and take her off to the vet just yet. There's no need. There's nothing really to explain, or it's just something that we're observing and keeping an eye on. And if we think that she's in any significant discomfort, I think that might be the time to see if she can have something for it. Maybe a Nurofen of some sort to bring down the swelling. If there's anti-inflammatory is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Have you thought about, Sarah, have you already done this, about building a kind of step?
I've got a step.
For her coming off the sofa?
Not for the sofa. We have got one for the bed, because it's a bit higher, and that she uses it all the time. But the sofa is low enough not to, if it had a step, I just think everyone would be tripping over it, to be honest. But we might have to get there. I don't know. Yeah. Have you got one, Sarah, for the sofa?
Yeah, we've always had one. Juniper's chewed it, so I've got another one, which I haven't put out yet, and she just keeps chewing this one. Right. But yeah, she uses it. She still jumps off at times as well, though. She'll avoid it.
So what sort of step is it? Is it just is it an upholstered step, or is it a little...
Yes, it's soft. It's sponge underneath, and it's just covered with the material. And so she'll always use it to go up.
Yeah.
But jumping down, sometimes she's very quick.
Yeah, really useful for especially for Dachshunds, because that's the thing you've got to keep quite a close eye on. But yeah, no, otherwise she's delightful and she's, great. Had a nice Easter as well.
Oh, good. Did anyone we actually didn't before you ask me in return, but did you get the dogs a special doggy Easter egg?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Is that too far?
Well,
I bet that you're laughing, but I bet that's a thing. I bet you can definitely buy dog Easter eggs.
Yeah, I didn't know you could, but
you probably can. I bet you can. I'm sure people will tell us you can.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. So we didn't. We did have Nelly got given these things which are like chocolate peanutty treats.
And hang on a minute. I heard from Jane, and Jane has sent me the video, Jack.
What?
Am I allowed to play it?
I guess you should really, because it is within the remit of what we've been talking about.
You wrote it up.
I am embarrassed that I basically was persuaded to try one of these.
Yes! Excellent.
Jane has sent me a couple of videos lately that are hilarious I haven't told you about on the show. But are you ready for this one? Hold on. Let me get it set up.
What are you...
That's dog food, that is.
It's quite nice, though. It's all right.
Eat another bit, then.
No. Well, if you want. I mean, it's okay.
This is Jack's petty four.
So, well, honestly, it's a peanut and cocoa. That's all it tastes of. And now I'm trying to make it sound like it was a completely normal thing to have done.
Because that video that we've just witnessed that you'll be able to see on Spotify or YouTube looks like a hostage video. I mean, it really, really does look like you're trying to make out that everything's okay.
So
you're in a great deal of pain.
Yeah, no, they're okay actually, and they taste like have you ever had naked bars? Those ones, those like they're kind of vegan things. Yeah.
Yes.
Romish has always got them, and Romish has always got them on him. He's always got them on him. Yeah, and he has his pockets full of them. So he introduced me to them. That's when I first had one, and anyway, it tastes a bit like that. One of those protein bars. Perfectly.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a sponsored podcast. That's just a genuine recommendation from Jack. You can go and get yourself some cocoa-covered nuts that are meant for dogs, but perfectly suitable for husbands that are being held hostage.
Thanks, Jane.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Jane.
She enjoyed doing that. But I have to say, I wasn't the only one who's tried them. I tried them because someone else in our family had tried them and said they're perfectly all right, actually. So, yeah. So there you go.
Right. So it runs in the family. Good, right.
We did have human food as well over Easter.
I should say, actually, I'm not the only one that's mental.
Well, there you go. Have we've got some very interesting guests this week, haven't we? It's probably time to move on to that, because we're about to be joined by Rose Patterson and Nathan McGovern from Animal Rising, who were involved in the high-profile rescue of beagles from MBR Acres, a story that's since led to a widely discussed court case. We spoke to Chris Packham about it a few weeks ago, as you remember, and Sarah's kept us updated on the trials. We've invited them on to get an insight into what they witnessed, what they've been going through in regard with the trials and what that was like. So that's what's coming up next.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. Got a bit of a cold, but yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, good.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
Hello
Good
there.
morning.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. We've been via Sarah mostly, but also in the media. We've been following what you've been up to. Do you want to just give us a little resume, how you got to where you are now, or maybe how it started?
Yeah, so maybe I could give you a quick overview of Animal Rising and who we are.
Great.
So, yeah, we're an organization set up in 2019, and yeah, we're really all about just highlighting animal issues and exposing the truth. And yeah, we've been focusing on things like factory farming, disrupted horse races, most recently been on trial for rescuing Beagle puppies, which we'll tell you all about in a minute. But yeah, we're really just highlighting issues that most people care about. We're a nation of animal lovers, and yeah, we've had so much public support for this recent campaign for the Beagles. And yeah, we're really excited to be here today to talk to you about it.
Well, thank you. We're delighted to have you here to find out more about it. When did you become aware of the Beagle issue and MBR Acres?
Yeah, so I think, like most people in this country, I didn't have a clue we were still testing on dogs. Like when I first found out, I thought it was like April Fool's kind of prank getting played on us. But there was a group called Camp Beagle who in 2021 decided to start camping outside the gates of MBR Acres. A few tents at first. It's now grown into a kind of mini village that they've got going on there now. And that's when I first found out about MBR Acres back in 2021. I think it was a vegan camp out. Maybe they gave a talk or something. And then from then, did my own research, looked into it more, and realized how horrific it is. What we're doing. Like man's best friend. 2,000 dogs coming out of MBR Acres every single year. Every single one of them, destined to die in the animal testing industry.
I mean, I don't expect you to give a dispassionate answer to this, but what would their rationalization be for still having dogs for this purpose, and what really are they using them for?
So as far as we know, they're using the Beagles for toxicology tests. So that could be for scientific experiments. It can also be for household products as well. And MBR itself, so MBR is the breeding facility for the animal testing site. So the puppies go from there to these labs. That site actually bleeds the dogs out as well. So they have a license from the Home Office that allows them to drain the blood from the puppies, sometimes until death as well. And then that's sent off to labs around the country to use for scientific experiments. And I guess, the industry itself, I mean, I find it hard to understand their perspective, to be honest, because I think there have been, different numbers out there, but the latest I've heard is something like sometimes as low as 6% of tests that work on animals, including dogs, actually work on humans. And so a lot of the time it's just like a complete waste of resources, a waste of life. And I think from that perspective, it's been something that's been done for a long time. It's supposed to be helping advance medical research, saving human lives. But is this really the legacy we want to leave behind? Do we want to be sacrificing so many thousands of millions of animals a year in these tests that most of the time are not relevant to humans anyway? So, and the government's now committing to phasing out animal testing because it's not working and there are alternatives now.
You didn't seem too convinced there by the government saying that. Would that be the case?
So I think it's a positive. It's a step in the right direction. They released a manifesto end of last year, but good, without any specific dates and some loopholes. And so I think it's a positive step. And it's clearly, culturally, we're heading in the right direction. And then, at a government level, they're on the right path. But I think it's taking way too long. And the fact that this is just it's not working. Why are we still doing this?
Yes.
And on top of that, it's a bit convenient how Labour have said it's their manifesto pledge to do a lot of the things they said they're going to do by 2030. And it's convenient that the next general election is going to be before then, probably 2029. And it looks like we're not even going to have a Labour government by the time they've said they're going to do these things. So they've given themselves the get out of jail free card on that already.
Yeah. Well, that's always going to be the issue, isn't it? Is changing governments and things change so slowly that by the time you get to a point where you can push it across the line, then you've suddenly got someone else in charge and it all starts all over again. Hopefully that's not going to be the case with this. And then I guess you're part of what you're doing is you're collecting information about manufacturers and sometimes household names even that are involved at some point in their process, involved in this testing. Is that right?
So yeah, Animal Rising is an organization. We haven't been doing too much on that side of things. There are other organizations that are doing really great work and pressure campaigns on these secondary targets. So the people that are either supplying MBR Acres or also maybe those that are benefiting from what MBR is doing. Our focus is basically creating these national conversations through doing inspiring actions like breaking into these facilities, showing what's going on there, and then literally taking the animals out of there, rescuing them, saving their lives. And so, that's our focus.
Yeah, well, that's great work. If you don't mind, could we go back to December 2022 and tell us what you experienced that night?
Yeah, of course. I need to go a bit Beautiful Mind here because the timeline is very complicated.
Please do.
Yeah, in 2022, we actually did 3 different things at MBR Acres. The first one was an occupation of the site, like a protest, if you will. That was in June. And some of the people there, being inside MBR Acres, seeing what was going on, felt so strongly that as soon as they got released from police custody the next day, they went back and immediately rescued dogs. Ben, Dan, and Bo did that, and they rescued 5 dogs in June 2022. And it was this insane, crazy, beautiful moment that then led to us thinking, oh, well, we've done it once. Why not do it twice? And then went back in the December of 2022. 18 of us rescued 18 beagles on that night. And then, years down the line, got charged, whatever, went to trial across December 2025 until March 2026. But the night itself in December was one of those insane, maybe once in a lifetime experiences of just for me personally, just running across these cold fields, middle of winter, getting closer and closer to MBR, being able to hear the dogs yapping, barking. And then initially the plan was to go through the fence, but best laid plans for mice and men and all of that. Angle grinder broke straight away. So we had to go over the fence to get into the site. And then in these for a site that's meant to be quite secure, they use PVC doors. You just get straight open with a crowbar. It's not very smart of them. And then straight into the shed, which is just filled with row upon row upon row of these cages of dogs. It's the first real human interaction they're ever having. And there's crazy adrenaline fueled few minutes of just taking dogs out of these cages, getting them over the fence, whisked away to safety, where now almost all of the dogs who we got out of MBR on that night are, with only 2 that were sadly recaptured by the police.
That's a remarkable story in itself. What is it? What the actual security? Do they have guards there, or what did you have to get past?
Yeah, there's high security. Probably key thing is the fact that there's that protest camp Beagle outside there 24/7, and so they do have a lot of security. They've got 24-hour security guards on the inside. I think 2 to 4 people 24 hours a day, and then high fences, barbed wire on the top. Actually, before we even did the rescue, people told us that we'd never be able to get in there because this was done. The last time anyone rescued a beagle from there was the 90s, and basically people have tried, but it's really, really hard to get in there. But I found that with Animal Rising, when we put our minds to something, we can achieve almost anything. And when people kept telling us that this is impossible, it's just well, that means it's worth doing then. And
And so how, you said it was for some of those beagles, their first proper interaction with humans other than being handled for medical purposes. And so what do they do when they're let out of these cages? Was their instinct to follow you, or did they just going crazy, or what was going on with them?
So the first thing the first dog that I picked up did was immediately take an absolutely massive dump down my arm out of pure excitement. So that's the first thing that they did.
It's a sign of love.
Well, very, very famously so. But then I know it's just this incredible experience of they're realizing someone's holding them and they're not manhandling them to put them into restraint or put a mask on their face or something. And it's just cuddling into you and nuzzling into you. It's so sweet. It's sad. I only got a few seconds of that before passing them over the fence. But they are just the most loving, trusting creatures on the planet.
Of course.
Apart from when they dump on you, of course.
And then what's the process for looking after them once you've kind of released them? Have you got a network of people who've said, yes, I'll take a beagle and look after it?
Yeah, so we had all of that prepared beforehand. So yeah, we had homes pre-prepared. And then, yeah, we don't personally know where they went for their own safety, because after the first rescue, the police actually tried quite hard to track them down. And so for their own safety, and we don't know where they are.
Wow.
But just went and looked after them. Yeah, they raided a 100-year-old man's house after the first rescue, thinking that they'd gone to, he's a supporter of Camp Beagle, thinking that they might have gone there. And yeah, they went to great lengths to try and track down the beagles. And so, yeah, I'm just happy to know that they're out there somewhere living their best.
I've actually been to Camp Beagle, and just hearing the dogs inside was such a harrowing experience. And, you know, I completely understand and I really admire your action. And obviously you've had emotional feelings about what's going on there. But on that night, was that all overridden by your purpose? Did you really feel that adrenaline keep you going? Were you scared that they were going to catch you?
Maybe I can speak to that, because I was caught.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when, like Nathan said, approaching the fence and everything, I felt quite calm, because I think we just know deep down we're completely on the right side of history. We knew there was a risk that we could get arrested, that a jury could find us guilty, and that we could go to prison for this. But we just know that this is 100% the right thing to do. And so, yeah, I had like this sense of calm whilst I was trying to, amble grind my way through the fence. And on my side, I was on a different side to Nathan. And yeah, I was also broke, and then was slowly cutting a hole with these bolt cutters. But yeah, I still felt calm, and then got in there. And then I think everyone was really focused, and there was almost like, I don't really remember us speaking much. It was just like, everyone was very focused. We were just getting in there, get the dogs. We came across the security. Security did try to stop us at times. And I was carrying a beagle that we called Love afterwards. I was carrying him, trying to get out, trying to get to the fence. And one of the security guards stood in front of me, and we played this footage from his camera in the courtroom, showing me just saying, I've got a puppy in my arms. I'm trying to save his life. Just let me go. And he's saying, no, like, you're not going. And I was just like, I'm going. And I just kept walking towards him. And eventually he just let me go. And then I got over the fence and started running. I had two other people, Ben and Kat, were running with me with beagles as well. And the interaction I had with Love, he was licking my face as we ran. It was like really surreal. He was licking my face, getting excited. And then he was wiggling so much as well. I think he just wanted to get onto the ground. And then there were people running with torches behind us. And I assumed it was security, so we kept running, and I veered off to one side, knowing that they're probably going to catch one of us. And also Love was slipping out of my arms, so I had to put him down for a second to be able to pick him back up. And then I was actually caught, and it was the police, and they jumped on top of me, said, "You're under arrest." And then, literally took him from my arms while I was like putting my body over him, crying, trying to stop them from taking him. And unfortunately, he was taken. The other two managed to get away that I was running with. And then Love and another puppy, Libby, were taken by the police. And after lots of public outcry, they still sent them back to MBR Acres a few days later. And so, we don't know what happened to them since.
Yeah. What was the general approach? It sounds quite rough, really, the way you were treated with the police. What was their general attitude towards you? Were just treating you as criminals?
So I think, and Rose can speak about the police officer that took Love, of course, but their general attitude, like, it's quite confusing, because they're used to dealing with a lot of the times like very violent, aggressive, like people, the police, naturally. But non-violence is one of the key things of us as an organization. So the fact that we weren't attempting to like run away, we weren't attempting to hide from what we've done, we were like fully cooperative with the police, was like, they were quite baffled in that moment. As I remember the police officer who arrested me, they were actually a trainee. So they had their supervisor next to them, like talking them through, like reading the rights to me as they were doing it from like a little kind of like script. It was just kind of surreal moment of, I'm here, I've done the right thing. Like, the police aren't manhandling me. It doesn't seem the police really think I've done the wrong thing. They're just, doing their jobs. Which is, it's a weird moment to be in that kind of situation. But I guess, we weren't wearing balaclavas, we didn't have weapons. It was, a surreal interaction, but it wasn't an aggressive one.
Yeah, yeah.
Just going to add, I think that's a really good point, Nathan. And something that I think makes us unique, or something that's really deep in everything that we do is the fact that everything we do is non-violent and inspired by past movements. And this whole rescue was planned to be open and accountable. We were prepared to be arrested. The plan was to, once the beagles were taken to safety, to go back to MBR and tell the police, tell the security and staff who we are, why we did this. And that's just like something that we always do for these actions. There's nothing to hide because we're not doing anything wrong. But the police officer that took Love from me, I actually saw her. I was put in the back of one police car. She was in the back of the next police car, and she was actually playing with Love, and he was like jumping on her, licking her face and things. And I think she just wanted the same as what we wanted. How could she want him to die and have his blood drained from his body or anything? Like, she was just another human being. And she was doing her job, I guess. I can't imagine that she would want him to be hurt.
Yeah.
No. And you went on to all be put on trial, which obviously would have been hugely difficult, but there was a lot of support for you. In the media, it garnered a lot of attention. What did that support mean to you, and did it kind of help you to get through what would have been such a difficult period?
Yeah, so the outcry of support when we did the action, like tens of thousands of petition signatures, like to Wayne Hsiung, going on the telly and saying he believed in what we did, although obviously the caveat can't endorse breaking the law. That was really incredible. To feel like this is something that like the public is on side on. This is an expression of public opinion, what we're doing. And then of course, when we were charged, obviously that's scary. Like, no one really wants to end up in court. If they tell you otherwise, they're probably lying. And then, through the end of last year, having Joanna Lumley's support, meant the world to us. The fact, our petition to shut down MBR Acres is now 185,000 signatures is incredible. And this, as we were going through trial, feeling all right, it might just be me and these few other people in the courtroom, but there's small cities worth of people behind us on this. For me, helped carry me through. I got found guilty, which is not ideal. But having that backing really helps ground me. And yes, I've done the right thing, and it's unfortunate I've been found guilty. Although Rose obviously has a much better experience of getting acquitted by her jury.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's quite mad because we were split into 5 different trial groups because there were so many of us, and we were all charged with burglary, which can carry a sentence of up to 10 years, even though we knew it was unlikely we'd get 10 years, but it was real that we could end up in prison. And then so Nathan's trial group was first. And I think that's also a disadvantage going first as well, because there were a lot of learnings as we went. And so out of the 5 trial groups, we had 3 trial groups were found guilty. And then 2, so one of my trial and another one were found not guilty. And I mean, it just goes to show how messed up our court system is when people have done exactly the same thing and have different results for different juries. But personally, actually really enjoyed going through the trial, and I think a lot of us did enjoy going into that trial, being able to speak about why we did what we did completely openly, absolutely nothing to hide. We're just totally honest and just standing up for what is right. And I think we made history. But all of that support obviously made it. Just going in there, knowing that we've got public support really, really helped, and support from notables like Joanna Lumley, Jonathan Ross, everyone, and you now.
Yeah. And Chris Packham as well, who wrote a statement of support as well, which is great.
It was read out in court twice because the jury asked for it a second time. Well, I think it was more of a logistical thing rather than wanting to hear it for a second time. But they really, I think it definitely helps having that support. It just shows that these aren't just niche issues. This is common view of the general public.
Yeah.
He was on the show the day after you were acquitted, and he was absolutely elated. Yeah. And it was a really great moment to have him on the show to talk about that.
Yeah, it was, What have been the repercussions in your personal lives for all this action? It being held up in court, and do you now have a criminal record, Nathan, yourself, having not been acquitted? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do.
So when you go, I don't know what your circumstances are, if you're working or if you go for a job interview or anything like that, have you encountered any repercussions from that?
So unfortunately enough, I get to work for Animal Rising full time as my job, which is great. But yeah,
they haven't fired you.
Rose hasn't fired me.
Sorry, Nathan. I was going to leave it till after this call, but yeah, we can't be having people with criminal record.
So incredibly fortunate there. But yeah, kind of sentencing I got an 18-month prison sentence suspended for 2 years. So if I do anything stupid in the next 2 years, it's off prison with me. Then 120 hours community service, which actually I just go to a charity shop in Catford every Friday and just spend the day there helping organise a shop, which is like, there's worse things to be doing.
Sure.
And then about £1,000 of court costs, which we generously was raised in a crowdfunder in like less than a day, which again is another one of those things that shows that how supportive people are of what we did.
Yes. A sense that you're not alone with that. That's great.
Yes, it's incredible work. It's incredible listening to your stories. I suppose we're all wondering how much closer you think we are to ending animal testing.
Good question. I mean, I think it's hard to tell. I think everything is signaling that it's on its way out. It's just, can we speed up that process? There's no way that in a couple of decades this is still going on. But I think we're likely to see the end of animal testing in the UK, at least in less than a decade. Because the science, the alternatives are there. It's just how to scale them, make them cheaper. And culturally, people don't want it in this country. I think most people have no idea this is still going on. And when people do find out, they're horrified. And so it's hard to know when. It's just like it's going to happen 100%. I'm sure of that. But it's just when. Nathan, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think it's on the way out, and the court of public opinion is worth so much, especially when attention keeps getting redirected onto an issue. We can see how quickly things can change when politicians feel like enough of their electorate is after them on an issue that is so easily fixable. There's reams and reams of research indicating that animal testing is not only awful for the animals that are involved, but it's actually just bad for humans as well. And that's one thing that gets forgotten. This isn't simply a moral issue about the animals, though of course it is for me and for Rose and for everyone who cares, but this kills humans. Every single year humans die because animal testing is not the optimal way to create medicines or to test household products.
And I would imagine that one of the foremost ways of getting these things or stopping this whole thing is to. I remember when it was discovered that cosmetics, for instance, was still testing on animals, that just immediately became a commercial disaster for various companies, and it was immediately became important for them to be able to advertise their products as we don't test on animals, and that and I think getting it out there in that way is probably as effective as anything else, isn't it? It's to let people know that this drug was not developed using animal testing or even household products. It seems extraordinary that they can test stuff that we use to clean the bath with or something just on an animal.
Will Hsiung told us that every time they bring out a new bleach, they'll test it on animals, and we know what bleach does. So why are we still doing that? Rose, I was going to say, your husband Wayne is a true hero of the cause as well, isn't he? Over in America, is it Ridgeland Farms? He recently, I watched that live, and I told Jack about it on a recent show. He broke in with a number of people, was it about 100 people, 150 people, and rescued 22 beagles. And there's a plan for them to go back into this facility, which has been found guilty of animal cruelty and that kind of thing, hasn't it? To save the remaining, I think there's 2,000 beagles there, is that right?
Yeah, so as a similar size to MBR Acres over here. So this is it's Wisconsin in the US. And there's now over 1,700 people have signed up to go and rescue the beagles. The aim is the 19th of April. So the whole thing will be live streamed again. And the support, this is becoming a global movement clearly. And I think that's like one of the successes of our action. It has inspired others as well. I mean, it's one of the reasons me and Wayne met in the first place, because we did this beagle rescue, and then he's doing similar stuff in the US. So keep an eye out for what happens. And Ridgeland should be getting shut down very soon.
Okay, great. Oh, thank you for all your work you're doing on behalf of those dogs and all the, literally trials and tribulations that you're putting yourself through. And best of luck with it as it moves forward. It's quite a story, isn't it? It really is.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, I'd like to second that. Thank you, and we'll put links in the bio as well, as we always do, so that any listeners that don't know about the cause yet, but I mean they've been very receptive. They're fully behind this, but we'll have a link in the bio so that they can go to the right places to help.
Yeah, we've been sharing your petition to close down MBR Acres, and our audience are behind it.
So that's where all the signature's been coming from.
That's it.
Hopefully had some.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you got dogs yourselves? Have you? You have.
Yeah.
Rose is nodding.
I'm going to show you. Where's Oliver gone? It's actually in the.
Oh, very sweet. Well, this is perfect, Rose, because we end all of our chats with our guests with the same question, and that question is: do you let your dog kiss you on the mouth?
He never does that, so we don't have to. I would probably let him, but it's a little bit gross.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh, right. So his answer is no. I don't let her kiss me on the mouth.
I don't think you should take it personally, Rose. I think that's a very sweet dog.
Gorgeous.
Right there, yeah. How about you, Nathan? You got a dog?
Well, I've been locked in a battle with my building manager in the block of flats that I live in for months now. The landlord has said yes. The building manager is stalling. So yeah, Chantel, if you're watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, please let us get a dog. Please.
Yes. I think maybe we should storm the building and free Nathan from this flat where he can't have a dog.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's put us in an awkward position now, Nathan, because we don't have a final question to go out on. So I'll have to ask you: do you, Nathan, let your building manager kiss you on the mouth?
I think my fiance would be a little bit annoyed about that, so I'd say no.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, thank you again
guys.
for joining us. It's been great talking to you and hearing your extraordinary story. It really is amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
All the best. Come back on. Take care. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Amazing stuff. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, it is extraordinary, that, isn't it? And I during that I was thinking I would be open to, and I don't know how you feel, but I would be open to hearing from MBR Acres if they were able to correct us on anything that has been said. I have a feeling we won't hear from them. But if they were saying, look, without our work,
one hears from them.
You can't have the cure for childhood cancer, and you da-di-da. And I can't. It's very, very hard to think of anything that could justify this treatment. But at the same time, I want to approach it from an informed position rather than just an emotive position. That's what I'm saying, I suppose.
Unfortunately, though, Jack, there's no scientific evidence that backs it up. There's none. It should be in the public domain if it was something that was important and vital. It's not as transparent as that. So this is why you don't really get scientists or spokespeople coming out and saying why it's important to keep having animal testing.
Yeah, well, Rose kind of touched on that, and it's important to MBR Acres itself is a facility that simply breeds dogs for these purposes, isn't it? They get shipped off to all kinds of laboratories, and it doesn't almost.
So they get kind of outsourced.
Yeah, well, that's the breeding center for them, which is it's a horrible thing to think about. I was going to say maybe we should put a trigger warning at the top of this show, because
I thought
if you're listening in the car with your children, it might not be a suitable one. I don't know.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
I
quite
think that's a good idea.
A real conversation, and it's harrowing. I felt quite emotional at times.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, well done for bringing that to us, Sarah.
Yes.
I know you've been quite involved yourself, so it was a really worthwhile thing to do.
Yes, and just a reminder, the petition will be in the link in the bio of this episode, so you can go there and sign that if you haven't already. At one point, I did have to stop myself from corpsing, I'm afraid, it was you because of Jack.
Why? Why me?
What did Jack do?
Well, someone said that they've that they got caught, they've been arrested, and they've been given a sentence.
Yeah.
Jack starts going, right, yeah, and so what are the repercussions of that? Like, in a job interview, I thought he was going to start going, you probably can't go to America, you're probably getting judged by your friends. I mean, yeah, you must be feeling pretty silly at the moment, Nathan.
Yeah.
Rub it in, Jack.
Yeah.
Just getting the salt there, a bit of salt, make sure America don't see that, mate.
Yeah, so you're a criminal, aren't you? Yeah,
exactly. That's a criminal. I'm surprised you've not got handcuffs on now, Nathan. Is it safe having you on the pod?
I think he knew what I was saying. I think it came across.
Yes,
I think.
he did.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. You've got to have a bit of light and shade, haven't you, with these things?
You do.
It is a difficult subject.
Thank you for giving it the space, because I know, we're a comedy show, really, but it is something that is quite, I don't know, it's just been something that's been quite present for me, certainly, and so I've wanted us to explore it a little bit further.
No, I know.
So thank you.
No, it's okay. You've been involved, so it's... Well, thank you all for listening to Oh My Dog. We hope you enjoyed getting to know a different side of our guests through their love of dogs.
Yes, please go and subscribe to us on Spotify and YouTube and sign up for our newsletter, all of which can be found at our website, omdpod.com. Do remember that we have a Patreon now, patreon.com/omdpod, where myself, Jack and Sarah are off the lead. This is where, if you want to hear us talk about other things that aren't dogs, or dog specific, you can sign up to that now and support the pod, and we'll be talking about lots of nonsense up there.
Yes.
People have really enjoyed it so far.
Unlike the normal Oh My Dog episodes where we assiduously stick to the subject at all times. And don't forget to give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast as well. And remember, a dog is for life, not just for podcasts.
Also, there was a bit where you, Sarah, said to them, yeah, I was telling Jack about and it just looked like it meant like I wasn't listening or something.
I think it's not.
You weren't there that episode.
Yeah.
But I knew, but they didn't.
Gotta be
I was
here.
telling Jack I actually signed. I signed Seann off. I didn't think he was ready for it.
For the full timers, that was a conversation that we had when. Anyway.